My name is Sudheen. I am founder promoter of Crystal Hues Limited.
Hey Sudheen, welcome to Hopstart. Thanks for taking out some time from your busy schedule. I don't want to waste too much of time. I just want to jump into my first question to understand what's the company all about, Crystal Hue. You said Crystal Hue Private Limited?
Basically, we are a localization company, and but localization is just one part of it. We actually cover the complete communication life cycle.
Okay.
What it means is that any message that any brand or anybody has to give out in a particular language, it needs to be communicated in many languages across multiple technologies. That's what we do.
Perfect. And especially the country where we live in. In fact, before the interview, we were talking about it, where we are already having so many different languages, like so many countries within one country.
Absolutely. I think is
it a challenge for you?
Definitely it's a challenge, but it is also a huge opportunity. In the sense that each state in India is probably bigger than most of the countries, or many countries in Europe. And which means that's a state, that's a huge consumer base each state has. And how do you communicate to them? Unless you speak their language in the technology that they are using or in the medium of communication that they are using. That's the opportunity. That's a huge opportunity.
Right. And so when you say it's kind of a 360 service which you are providing in terms of communication, that includes your advertising, marketing, digital, everything, right?
That's correct.
So let's talk about verticals so that our viewers and me also as a layman can understand it.
Okay. So typically a message is just a message. Yeah, I'm communicating to you, and that's good enough, a message.
Yeah.
But let's say, for example, you don't understand my language.
Right.
So I need to communicate in a language that you understand.
Right.
Which means typically I need to have either somebody writing what I'm saying or somebody translating, or basically that terminology is called interpretation. Some interpreter interpreting it for me to you. So, but beyond that, let's say for example you have developed a brochure for a company, or you have developed a video for your company. Now that company, if it or that brochure or a video or an application, for example, that you have developed, if it has to reach different TG or different target group, it doesn't speak your language.
A common language,
Then you definitely need to have people who understand technology and also languages.
This means a lot of opportunity for a lot of young people, specifically in the country itself.
Huge.
Like even, for example, for that matter, for example, a French company wants to kind of communicate something about their brand, about their business in our country, regional-wise. And that's when I think your thing comes in, the real play.
So in India, probably we are among the top 5, maybe among the top 3 in this segment. But it's a very niche segment. Most of the people are not really aware about.
Yeah, to be very frank, this is the first time I'm having a chat on localization this in Hopstart.
But this is a growing industry. In fact, if you look at Google, Amazon, everybody is into it. And they understand the importance of localization a lot, especially considering the Indian large market. The 1.3 billion market, Indian consumers market is huge. So everybody wants to get into and start communicating to them. And that's where we are.
Awesome. How does someone get into the sector? So, foreign language, or I mean, if someone wants to get into this field?
So, as long as you know two languages, which most of the Indians do, they know English and maybe their own mother tongue, which could be Hindi or it could be any of the Indian languages. So that's good enough to begin with. And then most of the youngsters, the youth, they know at least one technology. Even
everyone's actually a little tech savvy these days.
Everyone is tech savvy.
At least from the smartphone you get to know
Absolutely. And even if you're not tech savvy, let's say for example, you want to write a comment. And that comment needs to be tailor-made or customized for a typical state in India. So you can do it because you know that language.
Correct.
So it need not be in English. If you, let's say, for example, I think if you do your own comments in, let's say, Hindi, you probably will get much wider reach and much more engagement than you would probably get in a comment in English. So that's again, so you don't need to to really monetize or to really capitalize on this opportunity, you can do a lot. Right? It's very easy to get into this.
Awesome. Sudheen, I'm a little curious to know about your journey. How you kind of thought about this entire company, and from where did it all start from?
Journey has been very weird in the sense, but typically the journey of any youth, lost. They don't know what they're doing.
With everyone, same here.
So, but yes, I happen to be doing stuff which normally people don't do in the initial years. So I learned a language called French, and then I did some courses in computers, and there was no opportunity for me to use these two faculties that I had.
Right.
So of course I had to search for it, but eventually I joined one of the large pharma companies which asked me to open up French-speaking countries for them, for their products to be exported to.
Right.
So I was quite successful in doing that, but my biggest challenge was to find my marketing materials to be done into French language. So the resources would be basically, they would know how to handle languages, but they don't know how to handle the technology. So they cannot give me a document back or my end product back, which I can submit to.
So you had the advantage of kind of having the technological skill.
Because I did French and I did computer, so I was able to do it much more.
So then, since this is a career-oriented show, our viewers try to kind of get insight from our conversations as to how to start their career with, and how to take this forward. What would be that tip or the suggestion for the guys who have ideas in their mind but kind of get stuck while executing it, and you are one of the best person to ask because you have an established organization and you also started from the scratch. What would be that tip or the suggestion to the young guys?
See, I'm a first-time businessman. Yeah. In fact, in the whole family, there was nobody doing business. And I also come from, I would say, lower middle class family. So which means that...
I would say it as a humble background.
Yeah, very humble background. Yes, probably. Thank you for correcting me. So I was not one of those privileged people. I was not among them. So one thing I definitely would like to advise, and it worked very well for me, is to pursue your passion. That's very, very important. And so if you think that there is something that you'd like to do because you are into it, you must pursue it. It doesn't matter, you may not in the beginning see the eventual,
you may not foresee all the plans.
But it's very important to pursue your passion. That's very important.
Right.
And second thing is you have to be at it. You cannot perseverance is very, very crucial. You just have to be consistent and at it. You may not be a Bill Gates, but I'm sure you'll do something.
Maybe the other Bill Gates. Maybe.
Of course, anybody can be a Bill Gates.
Yeah.
But don't lose heart that you didn't become a Bill Gates. Right. You would do something else.
Maybe.
Something, and the journey is very interesting.
Awesome.
The journey of pursuing your passion is very, very interesting.
And so then you have a growing team. I'm sure you hire in people. What are the traits or the characteristics you look into people when you are taking in people in your team?
So I always believe that passion is more important than skill and experience. So that comes first, because the rest of the two can, of course, be trained, or it can be learnable
over the time.
It's learnable. The skill or the experience is something that you can gain over a period of time. But passion is something that you just don't get it. So that's my primary focus when I'm looking at people. And of course, if the person has some skills, that's good. Experience, good, but not really critical for me.
Good experience is good but not critical, as Sudheen says. Sudheen, great. Thank you so much. It was an awesome chat with you. I wish I could have continued. For some time constraint, we can't. But thank you so much for being a part of Hopstart and giving that insight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
2, 1.